Did you get
hit by a car?
All my friends saw me like fly in the air, somersault, and then I landed.
You didn't remember that? You didn't see?
None of that. I only saw 2 headlights, and I landed with my ear out like this, so that's why I was hanging. So then I went to the hospital, and then there was a cigarette in my jacket. My mom was coming, and I was like, "Oh my God, someone hid my cigarette!"
So off camera, we were talking a little bit about how growing up in the late 90s, early 2000s as an Asian youth was sort of synonymous with Asian gangster lifestyle.
Well, so what I noticed was like the more we talk, right? I'm like, Ellen, I'm like, you're probably our age, because the stuff that you're talking about, the references that you make, I'm just like, you remind me of girls I grew up with. And then we find out, I'm like, yeah, you are similar to us in age, but then also you grew up in NorCal, which is miles away, but at the same time, it's like, I was like, how is this happening when everyone that grew up in the same era, if you're from the same class, if you're from like meaning like social status, right? Like you're not from a rich neighborhood, or you didn't grow up a certain way. It's like all of us remember a violent kind of world.
Every day was a fight.
It was crazy. And then that's like, it's because earlier we talked about how like, you know, rappers are dying and whatever. But like right now it feels safer for me. Like
it feels safer, yeah.
The same cafes and the places that I go to now, it doesn't feel like how it used to be. Because, we would be eating dinner after like a club or whatever, and all of a sudden a fight will break out every 10 minutes, and then the shooting, you have to go home or whatever, right? And then even though you're from San Francisco area, it's the same thing. And when I talk to other people our age, whether it's Chicago, New York, Texas, they all remember the same stuff. And I'm like, that's kind of mind-blowing, because back then there wasn't like online
why is it
or anything.
parallel?
Yeah,
so
why
how
is it
was this
same?
happening simultaneously all over different communities?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I mean, also rap back then was different too. I remember it was like more Tupac and Biggie. I don't know. Music was different.
Yeah.
Maybe that.
It's just the culture. I
The
feel like.
culture
The
was
culture
different.
surrounding it, yeah.
And so when we're off camera, he was saying rumble, and I was like, "Thank you, sir. Thank you," because rumble. Though even the term rumble, like David, so you made fun of me. Years later, I met it.
That's true, because
And it's a real word.
What did he make you feel like, West Side Story or
He was
some
like,
shit?
yes. He was like, what the fuck are you, Rumble? Like, I think he referenced West Side Story. He was like, how old are you?
But that's how.
that was a common thing, though.
That was a common word.
Thing. We're like, I feel like it started in our brother's generation or whatever, where they would just meet up with like 40 people on each side, and just at the park they would just go at it.
I never saw a single one-on-one fight growing up.
Really?
No, it would always be like
Big ass groups.
10 on 10.
Got you to groups.
Big ass groups.
You would think they would start as one-on-ones though. Sometimes they started as
Oh,
one-on-ones.
this one started 101.
There's never two people just like alone on an.
I never seen people go, all right, let him handle it.
That's another thing too. I realized that when people fight, they don't really fight when they're just by themselves. Like in school, like if you see your arch nemesis in the restroom, whatever, you wouldn't just fight them by yourself. There, you wait till like it's like it's between classes, there's a crowd.
Maybe so there's like there's evidence maybe.
You don't ever fight them by alone. You just see them you don't even fucking say shit. Yeah, you know, I don't know what that's about.
We used to talk about how like I distinctly remember in the early 2000s that I couldn't go anywhere without someone trying to fuck with me for no reason.
Yes. Yes, that's so true.
I had to kick it with people to make sure I didn't get jumped.
But that's why a lot of people join gangs.
Jumping were my friends, because I had to. Because I would be the quietest one, but they always knew me as a dancer girl, so I was always cool with
Dancer card.
everyone, 'cause
That's
they're like,
dope, that's
oh,
dope.
you dance. So dancing wasn't like today, like choreographer or viral. No.
Yeah.
You dance like, oh, that Asian girl can dance. Like, don't mess with her. And I was that girl of every.
Because different
group.
circles, you're
Yes,
cool. Yeah.
I'm cool. But then the
Dancers
girls
have that power.
Yes. Man, I had to kick it with all the girls were like slicing their arms back then. Do you
they got
remember
the
that?
cigarette burn?
The cigarette burn. Yeah, all of that.
The little lighter smile, the little.
Do 3.
They would be jumping girls right there, all like right outside of the school, and I had to be their friends because I would be the one that
Yeah.
I remember that, like, and that's why you saw Asians 40 deep sometimes.
Yeah.
You remember like they would be hanging out with like 50 people
At the bowling
in one
alley.
group because they all like they're like like army of ants that has to protect themselves and shit.
Yeah.
And I saw this all the time, and then like you'll see like 50 Integras going to the fucking park.
I had Integra.
You had an Integra?
I used to shave Integra.
Dude, that's the coolest shit to have that in that age.
It was all Fast and Furious every single day, dude.
That's dope.
Like I got hit by a car, got money from that, bought Integra.
Oh, you got a settlement from that?
Full circle. But it's small. I mean, considering.
Give people the story. Give people the story.
Yeah. What happened? What happened?
So this was in middle school, and it was my friend finding my friend, and they started first, only them two, but it was two crowds.
Okay.
So my friend, she has the mixed crowd, so that's like all different races.
Okay.
And then the other one had the Asian one. So they started going, and it just got big. And I just remember trying to pull off people and blah blah, and then you got the Vietnamese gang coming with the bats, and that was real. Like we're like, oh shit, we don't have bats. So we're like, we gotta fucking go! So we all book it from the Rumble, and I'm booking it, and then me and my friend Diana were going first, and my group of friends behind me, and then all I remember was waking up on the bottom of the hill, and then I like got up and I was like seeing blood, and I was like, it's the Vietnamese people!
Oh shit.
And then like my one shoe is down the block even more.
Did you get
hit by
clocked?
a car,
Did they?
or-
Hit by a car. All I saw was two headlights all of a sudden, all black. So I was like, man, like, I'm pretty sure when this happens and you die, like, you don't really feel nothing. Because I didn't feel anything. It was just black, two headlights. And then all my friends saw me, like, fly in the air, somersault, and then I landed.
You didn't remember that? You didn't see? You didn't...
None of that. I only saw two headlights, and I landed with my ear out like this, so that's why I was hanging. So then I went to the hospital, and then there was a cigarette in my jacket. My mom was coming, and I was like, oh my God, someone hid my cigarette! I was like having a panic attack.
Priorities, dude.
Priorities.
Hell yeah.
Don't smack. But anyways.
Fucking fun.
That's funny, yo.
That's crazy. But back then,
You're dying, but you're like, my mom can't fucking
Yeah.
my face was like a pancake. Like it was this big, like
How did you
flat.
explain to your parents what the fuck happened to your ear?
I don't even know. I was just caring about the cigarette. My mom
my
walked in. I was like telling my friend like, put the cigarette in the garbage can, but she like fainted. So I was like, thank goodness, put it in the garbage can.
Your mom faints. Thank goodness.
You're like, oh, okay.
Can't find out. Yeah, can't find that out. Because cigarette. I don't know what I told her, but I just remember I didn't go to school for 2 weeks because my face was like fucked.
Damn.
But I was.
That's crazy. I do remember like every day going out, there was a bit of fear of something might
Something's gonna happen.
fuck me up today, or I'm gonna fuck somebody up, or my friend's gonna be an
my
idiot.
friends. Yeah.
And then you're just there, and you're trying to have a wholesome time bowling with your friends.
Bowling, it's always bowling.
Yeah.
Let me go bowl.
Bowl, then karaoke or something.
Let me just eat some food, and somebody stabs you, and you're like, why?
It would always be Japantown SF.
By the bowl, J Bowl.
J-Bowl, that's where I used to kick it.
My uncle lived down there.
That was, yes, that's
I
where
guarantee you, I probably crossed like
Probably.
one of these. Yeah.
I would be the one out there like this smoking.
Oh
with all
my God.
friends.
Do you have pictures of yourself in that persona?
Yeah, with the bangs.
still- oh my
I
God,
literally.
let's go.
It's funny because Kristin looks at me right now. She's like, I can't relate.
I'm so sorry.
And then she's like, do you relate? And I was like, I relate in a different way. I also was scared every day, so instead I went to the science room and played Magic the Gathering during lunch in order to
love that.
avoid the fucking gangsters.
So you were
Holy
a part of
shit.
it. You were a part of it, but you stayed away from it.
Yeah, which is good.
I was like nerdy and pudgy enough where I was no threat to either side.
Good.
That's
So I
good.
feel like everybody was fine with me. It was just my cousin who was annoying to them. So anytime my cousin got beef, I had to be in it. But then that's when we got into Magic the Gathering because nobody could take away our fucking love for cards.
I
That's
love
good.
that though.
But you know what? You know what's the bad part about trying to hide in a space like that? So that's what we did with Counter-Strike, and then gangsters
I
started
love
playing
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike.
I know.
And gangsters ruined it for everybody.
That's true.
That did
You would be
happen.
in the PC bang, and so you're in a room. It's like a computer cafe, right? There's like 30 computers.
Yeah.
Everybody's playing Counter-Strike on a LAN. So you're shooting people that are also in the room. If you kill the wrong guy, he stands up
Yeah.
and he goes, "Who the fuck is that? Who shot me?" And you're just like, It came to the point where certain people came.
There would be shootouts
Yeah.
because of.
Because of the
They ultimately closed them because of a murder over Counter-Strike.
Oh, wow.
Garden Grove, a guy got stabbed with a pen, was it?
Fucking Vietnamese again.
Yeah.
I have a buddy who was playing Counter-Strike, and then people called in that those guys were there. So then they weren't there to play Counter-Strike and shoot him. They were there to kill him. So then once he saw them, he was like, holy shit, right? He jumped out, got into his car. As he was driving away, they went through the back and they shot. And then he got so lucky because it hit the corner. You know where the metal part is in the corner? If the bullet hit that first and it got lodged to the back of his head and it melted right there and it stopped before going through.
What the fuck?
So he just has a bump right here in the back of his head. But they couldn't surgically pull it out because it created like a crack in a hole.
Well, see, that's the thing with what you were saying with how you have to roll in groups, because the amount of times I can't even count when I was by myself and
They
someone would
will
just go,
bully
where you
you.
from? And I would have to go, nowhere.
Stop.
God, dude, like,
I'm from nowhere.
and that's just here in San Gabriel. Like, how much more if you're in somewhere farther away where they don't know you? And then, because it's harder for me because I didn't look nerdy, but I looked like I was trying to be cool. So they'd be like, oh, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Nobody.
God.
Oh, it's fine.
I would have to lie about that shit too sometimes because like back in the day, Fullerton and Cerritos for some reason always had the biggest beef. But I went to Sunny Hills in Fullerton, but my parents fucking live in Boynton Park, so you know I'd be at Cerritos Town Center from time to time, and these fucking fools, white people, always come up and be like, "Where you from?" And I'm not gonna say I'm going to Sunny Hills.
That sounds bad. Sunny Hills sounds like
I'm from Boynton Park. I live on Knott in La Palma. They're like, all right.
Would you be by yourself? Huh? Would you be by yourself?
I'd be like with my cousins and stuff like that. It'd just be stupid shit. We just look like fucking nerds, you know what I mean? Like you just happen to be Asians in a spot that somebody deems their territory. It was just so regional back then.
Did it feel
Really?
like back
Seriously?
then? I don't know if this is accurate. I don't feel like I ever got fucked with by black dudes, white dudes. It was only
Only Asians.
Asian.
Only other Asians, for sure.
I didn't really get that much. Yeah.
Depends. Because, I mean, gang stuff was happening everywhere. But I think if you hung out in only Asian areas, that's who's gonna fuck
That's
you.
true too.
I like the Mexican dudes at my school and stuff. They just call you Chino and you're cool. They look equally gangster, but they just were cool and nice about it.
I looked Mexican, so they were cool with me.
I just went with being funny, bro. Like just being funny, being like all whatever cliques, whatever hoods, whoever was like the toughest, like whoever was like a bully.
That's a superpower.
I would try to just be like cool with him, like be funny to where he'd be like, oh, he's cool. Don't feel like he's alright. He's alright. That's why. All right, cool. I'm on everybody's good side. That's how I was like. That was my defense mechanism.
You're like, you want notes from class, man? I got notes from class.
Yeah. Like I would like in the classroom, if there was like one of those like hard fools in the class, whatever, I would just be funny. I could take that L, you know what I mean? If like, you know, get sent out the class, whatever. But as long as nobody's fucking with me, I was like, all right, I'm cool. You know what I mean? Just be funny.
You know what I realized? Like some of my friends that didn't end up in this stuff, they did skating, extreme sports, like surfing, and I feel like there's a lot of like excitement that young men have that with their aggression and
They need an outlet.
They need something.
They need
like,
an activity.
Yeah, because like the white kids have like the extreme sports, and I think that's like
You can relate.
Yeah.
No.
Camera on me. So I was involved in many activities in high school.
But they have like
relate.
something that's adrenaline. Because I think a lot of the stuff that we were chasing was adrenaline.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of it was like excitement, doing crazy shit.
That's why, like, I'm quick to admit that, like, as much shit as I got into, I willingly walked into it because I thought it was fun. But I just didn't want to die. But I wanted to almost die.
You wanted to kick it with it.
Yeah, I was like, this is kind of tight.
It's thrilling.
But also, once you also weren't on the same page with your group. Sometimes, like, we would go to a party. Like, we went to a party in Carson one time. And then as soon as we got there, the other guys are like, hey, we're going to steal this DJ's equipment.
Oh, no. I
like,
know what you're talking
but
about.
I wanted to dance. So then I had to leave. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
I would be like, I don't get the point of
My song request is next.
Like, damn it.
I'm like, what's the point of, getting ready, looking cool, and then like we go to house parties and the first thing you guys want to do is fight other men. I'm like, I'm there, I want to talk to girls, I want to fucking like meet women, and you want to do the most gayest thing on earth. You just want to go in and just fight other men all day long. And I'm like,
Rumble.
I'm like,
Straight up.
I haven't even. Why am I doing my hair? That's what I felt. I was like, why am I
even
looking
getting
good?
ready?
Like,
Yeah.
why?
But that's why people didn't realize that those dudes were the influencers of our day. Like, those were the influencers.
They were.
Like, they were the guys calling all the shots, and you just were along for the ride and shit. You're like, oh.
I think. Well, they made a game out of like at least in LA, right? Like kids
Grand
made
Theft Auto.
They made a game out of fighting.
Chinatown Wars. Yeah.
Like they literally made a game out of fighting because like a lot of the times it wasn't even drug like territory money driven. It was just because you wanted to be the baddest gang.
Yeah.
So you wanted everyone to know your name. So you're gonna do the most violent shit, fight each other, and then that's why we had the culture of gangbanging, where it's like it's called hitting people up. But you see a group of guys that look thuggish, and then you ask them where they're from, and if they say the gang that is a rival, then you got to go at it, right? So that was that's why Asians fucked with Asians a lot, because they cared about like, oh, this is my game, I like this is the Asian boys, and this is whatever, right? And then so they wanted to be the biggest name, and then they created rivalries because they would get into senseless fights, but none of it was like a sophisticated like, yo, this is my drug territory. Like the Mexicans had like, oh, this is our territory, we're selling here, you can't sell in here. Yeah. And it's like it was just pointless, stupid street.
Just pride.
Stupid. Yeah, it was pride.
But I think it's because young men had like these fucking juveniles had so much energy and aggression. We were all getting our asses beat at the house. That's another thing too.
Oh, it's true. At home, you were getting it. Yeah.
So it's like, where do you take that out?
You're just taking it all in like kinetic energy. Just
Like Black Panther.
I always say dance truly saved my life because I was kicking it with wild people. One, because I don't want to get my ass whooped. And also, I was getting beat in the house. So the only thing that I can go to that I can
beat that dance floor.
Yeah, was that's why when people ask me why am I so aggressive with my dancing, is like that's why I am so aggressive. I had so much to say, but I could never say it because I was always
crumping, but she'd fucking.
Crump? Oh.
But then that's what people always say, like, why do you dance so aggressive? And they think it's just like a dance thing, and I'm like, it's so like. It's because of the way I grew up. It's where I grew up and how you.
This was a civil rights movement style, built on oppression. Is that what you?
No, I was gonna say it's just. Yeah, I don't know. It's experience. Like it. Yeah. Like my dance style's not because
it's the outlet.
Yeah, it's an outlet.
If you don't have an outlet, then you're gonna stay in that shit and do stupid stuff.
Do dumb shit. So I'd rather go dance. And then dance for me was like, it was so fun. It was crazy in that too. I had to take the BART to 12th Street, Oakland, and it's like my mentors are like, what the fuck is that? So it's like different kind of just expression.
And you're still getting the feeling of being a part of a gang. You're part of a crew. You got a crew, so and then you have a leader, whatever, and you're doing something tight. It don't fucking hurt. You know what I'm saying? We're not fighting nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like
They do shit like hugs.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Hugs. Contact freestyle.
Okay, it wasn't hugs in mine. Mine was like, you gotta pull up because you are like Asian. Like you gotta pull up because am I seeing you even being raw? Like you don't know what this is. So I'm like,
Right. You're not gonna skate by just in the pocket.
No, there's no in the pocket back then. It was like you gotta show up. Mm-hmm. Whatever that is. Yeah.
Was it Funk's SF? You were on? Which was?
I started Mini Shock.
You started Mini.
You started Mini Shock? How old was you?
I started 14.
Mini Shock was 14?
It's like up to 15, and then I went to Culture Shock Oakland.
Oh, and then after that?
With Kim? Was it Kim?
And then did you have one after that
yes,
too?
Wait, Kim's my mentor. Like.
Oh, okay, now I get it.
Like yes, Dominique. I used to know her when she was 5. Kim Batiste.
Yeah,
so she's Mama Kim.
Oh, gee, hell yeah.
Yeah, so she's the one that would yell at me. Like,
Grandmaster.
What is that? What is that? What is this? And
That's
I'm
a good
like,
person to guide you though.
She's a strong yeller, yeah.
So that's how I grew up.
Hell yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I get what you're saying about getting into extreme sports. I needed that energy because Yeah. Anyway.
Did you eventually
Get
have
into
to
dance.
Did you have to jump out?
No, you know what I did is I slowly convinced more than half of the people to leave at the same time. So then, who's gonna jump us out?
That's
pretty smart.
That's some CEO shit.
That is CEO leadership. Yup. There we go.
Just to not get jumped out.
getting jumped out.